You say you want to win, you say you want to be great, but every single day you're letting distractions steal your destiny. And that's the truth most people don't want to hear. You wake up with goals, but before you even take one real step forward, you're already scrolling, already checking notifications, already reacting to things that have nothing to do with your purpose. That's how dreams die. Not in one big moment, but in small, repeated distractions that slowly pull you away from who you're meant to become. You've got to understand something. Focus is not just a skill, it's a decision. It's a daily commitment to cut off anything that doesn't serve your vision. You cannot afford to give your time, your energy, and your attention to things that don't build your future. Every second you waste on nonsense is a second you'll never get back, and the world isn't going to pause and wait for you to figure it out. If you're serious about changing your life, then you've got to start eliminating the noise. Turn off what doesn't matter. Distance yourself from habits that keep you comfortable but stagnant, because comfort is the enemy of growth, and distractions are comfort in disguise. They make you feel busy, but you're not productive. You're just occupied, and being occupied is not the same as moving forward. You need to train your mind to lock in, to stay focused even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when nobody is watching. That's where the real growth happens. Anybody can be focused when they feel motivated, but champions stay focused when they don't feel like it. They show up anyway. They do the work anyway. They ignore the distractions anyway. That's the difference. You've got to become intentional with your time. Ask yourself, is this helping me or hurting me? And if the answer is hurting you, cut it off. No hesitation, no excuses. Because the life you want requires a version of you that is disciplined, that is focused, that is locked in on the mission. You can't carry distractions into greatness. They don't belong there. And listen, it's not going to be easy. Your mind will try to pull you back into old habits. The world will keep throwing distractions at you. But you've got to be stronger than that. You've got to remind yourself why you started, what you're chasing, and what's at stake. Because this isn't just about removing distractions. This is about taking control of your life. This is about deciding that your future matters more than temporary entertainment, more than comfort, more than anything that's trying to hold you back. When you remove distractions, you create space for growth, for clarity, for purpose. And once you tap into that level of focus, once you truly lock in, there's nothing that can stop you. But it starts with a choice, a real choice, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Decide that you're done being distracted. Decide that your goals matter more, and then prove it with your actions every single day. You keep saying you're waiting for motivation, waiting for the right mood, waiting for the perfect moment. But let's be honest, that's exactly why distractions are winning in your life. Because when you rely on how you feel, you give distractions control. One notification, one message, one moment of boredom, and you're off track again. That's not a focus problem, that's a discipline problem, and discipline doesn't care about your feelings. Discipline is doing what needs to be done when you don't feel like doing it. You've got to train yourself to say no, even when it's uncomfortable. No to the extra scrolling, no to the unnecessary conversations, no to anything that doesn't align with your goals. Because every time you say yes to distraction, you are literally voting against your own success. Think about that. You are choosing the easy path in the moment, but that easy path leads to a hard life later, and the hard truth is, nobody is coming to fix that for you. This is on you. You've got to take responsibility for your time, your habits, and your environment. Start setting boundaries, not just with others, but with yourself. Create rules that you don't break. When it's time to work, you work, no excuses. When it's time to focus, you focus. No checking your phone every 5 minutes, no letting your mind wander. Because focus is like a muscle, the more you train it, the stronger it gets. But if you keep giving in to distractions, you're weakening it every single day. You don't need more hours in the day. You need more control over the hours you already have. And that control comes from discipline. It comes from building habits that support your vision, not sabotage it. Wake up with intention, plan your day. Remove triggers that lead you into distraction, whether it's apps, people, or environments. If something keeps pulling you away from your goals, it doesn't belong in your daily routine. Period. And understand this. Discipline is not punishment. It's freedom. It's the ability to take control of your life instead of being controlled by impulses. When you're disciplined, distractions lose their power over you. You don't get pulled in every direction. You stay grounded, locked in, focused on what matters. That's how you build momentum. That's how you separate yourself from everyone who's just talking about success but not doing the work. Because at the end of the day, success isn't about what you say. It's about what you consistently do. And consistency comes from discipline, so stop negotiating with distractions. Stop telling yourself just one more minute or I'll start later. Later is where dreams go to die. You've got to act now. You've got to decide that your future is more important than temporary comfort. And once you make that decision, you back it up with action, daily, relentlessly, without excuses. That's how you take your power back. That's how you remove distractions for good. And that's how you become the person you keep saying you want to be. You need to understand something most people avoid admitting. Sometimes the biggest distractions in your life aren't on your phone, they're in your circle. The people you spend time with, the environment you stay in, the conversations you entertain, they are either building you or breaking you, and there is no in between. You can't expect to grow in a place that rewards comfort, excuses, and average thinking. If you're surrounded by individuals who don't have vision, who don't respect time, who don't push themselves, then naturally you will start to mirror that energy. That's how distraction becomes your lifestyle without you even realizing it. You start justifying wasted time, laughing off missed opportunities, and delaying your goals because everyone else is doing the same. But listen carefully, normal is not success. Average is crowded. If you want something different, you've got to be willing to separate yourself from what's common. That means taking a hard look at your environment and asking real questions. Are these people helping me grow, or are they keeping me stuck? Is this space pushing me toward my purpose or pulling me into comfort? Because growth demands discomfort, and most distractions come disguised as things that feel easy, familiar, and safe. You might have to distance yourself from certain people, not because you hate them, but because you respect your future. And that's a difficult decision, but it's a necessary one. You cannot carry everyone with you to the next level. Some people are meant for a chapter in your life, not the whole story. And if you keep holding on to environments that drain you, you'll never create space for the ones that elevate you. You've got to become intentional about what surrounds you. Build a space that encourages focus. A place where your goals are visible, where your time is respected, where distractions don't have room to breathe. Clean your environment, organize your routine, remove anything that pulls your attention away from what truly matters. Because when your environment is aligned with your mission, discipline becomes easier, focus becomes natural, and distractions start to feel out of place. But if your environment is chaotic, filled with noise, negativity, and lack of direction, then staying focused will always feel like a struggle. So don't just work on yourself, work on what's around you. Upgrade your circle. Seek out people who are hungry, who are driven, who challenge you to think bigger and act stronger. Even if you don't have those people around you right now, start by limiting your exposure to what holds you back. Protect your energy, protect your time, because both are limited, and once they're gone, you don't get them back. At the end of the day, success is not just about what you do. It's about where you do it and who you do it with. If you're serious about removing distractions, then you've got to be bold enough to change your environment, even when it's uncomfortable. Because comfort will keep you stuck, but change, real intentional change, will set you free and move you closer to the life you keep saying you want. You can't just remove distractions and expect your life to magically improve. You've got to replace them with something stronger, something meaningful, something that pulls you forward every single day. Because if you leave empty space in your routine, your old habits will come back, and those same distractions will find their way in again. That's how most people fail. They try to quit distractions without building purpose. And without purpose, your mind will always drift back to what's easy. So the real mission is not just elimination, it's replacement. You've got to fill your time with actions that align with your goals, actions that demand your focus, actions that build your future. Instead of scrolling, you study. Instead of wasting hours, you train. Instead of sitting in comfort, you push yourself into growth. You've got to become so committed to your purpose that distractions start to look like a waste of your potential. And let's be real, you have potential, but potential means nothing without execution. The world doesn't reward what you could do. It rewards what you actually do consistently every single day. That's why you need structure. You need a plan that tells your time where to go instead of wondering where it went. When your day has purpose, your mind has direction. And when your mind has direction, distractions lose their control over you. You don't get easily pulled off track because you know exactly what you're working toward. You've got a reason to stay locked in. But purpose is not just about big dreams. It's about daily action. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it, doing the work when it's boring, and staying committed even when progress feels slow. Because that's where transformation happens, not in the excitement, but in the repetition, not in motivation, but in consistency. You've got to build habits that make success automatic. Wake up with intention, set clear goals, track your progress, and hold yourself accountable. No more guessing, no more drifting. Every move you make should have a reason behind it. And when you start living like that, distractions won't even feel tempting anymore because they don't match the person you're becoming. You're not the same individual who used to waste time. You've evolved, you've leveled up, you've stepped into a mindset that values growth over comfort. And yes, it's going to be hard. There will be days when distractions call your name louder than your purpose. But that's the test. That's where you prove to yourself how bad you really want it. Are you going to fall back into old habits, or are you going to stay focused and keep moving forward? Because at the end of the day, this is bigger than just removing distractions. This is about building a life of intention, a life where every action brings you closer to your goals. You've got to decide that your time matters, your future matters, and your purpose matters more than anything trying to pull you away from it. And once you make that decision, you don't look back. You stay locked in, you stay focused, and you keep going until you become everything you said you would be.